This is the General Overseas Service of All India Radio. Namaskar. The news snippets. Read by Maria Albina Michael. 14,27,005 people have recovered from COVID-19 in the country. In the past 24 hours, 48,900 people have recovered from the infection. Recovery rate is 68.32%. 5,98,778 tests were conducted for COVID-19 in the country in the last 24 hours. 18 people were killed and more than 100 injured in a plane crash landing at Kozhikode Airport. An Air India Express operated Vande Bharat mission flight from Dubai carrying 190 people, mostly stranded Indians, skidded off the tabletop runway due to heavy rains and strong winds. Both pilots were also killed in the crash. An inquiry into the crash has been ordered. Indian vaccine candidates for COVID-19 are in the late stages of trials. 2 top panels have been formed for coordinating and monitoring the various processes. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar held talks with foreign ministers of Australia, South Korea, Brazil, Israel, and the US Secretary of State. The External Affairs Minister discussed the COVID-19 situation and other issues of importance with his counterparts. Serum Institute of India SII Pune and the Global Vaccine Alliance Gavi have entered into an agreement with the Gates Foundation to provide COVID-19 vaccine at under 250 rupees for underprivileged people. SII would be manufacturing up to 100 million doses of the COVID-19 vaccine being developed by Oxford University, AstraZeneca and Novavax. Pakistan has threatened to leave the Organization of Islamic Conference after the OIC refused to entertain Pakistani requests for a special foreign ministers meeting on Kashmir. Russia has planned to release its COVID-19 vaccine next week. Russian Deputy Prime Minister Tatyana Golikova has said that industrial production of the vaccine could start by September 2020 itself. Presidential elections in Belarus is to be held on Sunday. President Alexander Lukashenko will be fighting his 6th consecutive election. The 2021 T20 Cricket World Cup will be held in India. This year's edition, that was to be held in Australia, was called off due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And that is the end of the news snippets.
Of class 5th of Sri Venkateshwar International School. 7th August, the National Handloom Day. 7th August was declared as the National Handloom Day in July 2015 to honor the handloom weavers in the country and to generate awareness about the importance of handloom industry. The first National Handloom Day was inaugurated by Prime Minister Narendra Modi at the Centenary Hall of Madras University in Chennai. This day was chosen as the National Handloom Day to commemorate the Swadeshi movement, which was launched on this day in 1905 in the Calcutta Town Hall to protest against partition of Bengal by the British government. The movement had aimed at reviving domestic products and production processes. A beautiful poem was dedicated to Indian weavers by Sarojini Naidu. Weavers weaving at break of day, why do you weave a garment so gay? Weave blue as the wing of a halcyon wild, We weave the ropes of a newborn child. Weavers weaving at fall of night. Why do you weave a garment so bright? Like the plumes of a peacock, purple and green, we weave the marriage veils of a queen. Weavers weaving solemn and still, what do you weave in the moonlight chill? White as a feather and white as a cloud, we weave a dead man's funeral shroud. Thank you.
Earth, the only planet where life exists. Earth, the abode of millions of species. Earth harbors life because Earth matters.
The moment I think about marine debris entanglement, picture of a biologist using pliers trying to extract a plastic straw from a sea turtle's nostril flashes in front of my eyes.
The biggest threat the sea turtles are facing today is entanglement in the fishing gear, consumption and illegal trade of the eggs, meat and shells.
Marine debris or marine litter is human-created waste material that is purposefully or accidentally released in water bodies like lakes, rivers, seas and oceans. Let's know it from Fahmida Hanfi, Independent Wildlife Consultant.
An internationally agreed definition of marine debris or marine litter adopted by UNEP is any persistent, manufactured or processed solid material discarded, disposed or abandoned in the marine and coastal environment is the marine debris.
Floating oceans debris tend to accumulate on coastlines as beach litter. Deliberate dumping of waste and debris in the ocean is known as ocean dumping.
Marine debris can be put into 4 categories. Fishing industry debris, which includes rope, fishing net, fishing lines, lost fishing traps and pot. Then food-related waste, which includes plastic bags, plastic bottles, cans, containers, lids, straws, and the food packaging materials. And then the third is smoking-related waste, which would include cigarette filters, cigarette tips, disposable lighters. And the fourth category is manufacturing and shipping related waste, including plastic resin pellets, plastic sheeting, strapping bands, straps, etc.
Around 80% of marine debris and waste is plastic. Plastic waste accumulates in the ocean because they do not degrade naturally as many other substances do. Around 8.8 million metric tons of plastic waste are dumped in the world's oceans every year. Asia reportedly accounts as the leading source of plastic waste dumping in the ocean.
Although plastic has come to dominate marine litter due to its long lifespan and buoyancy, but the prevalence of different types of debris varies from location to location depending on the nature of the shore-based waste handling, the type and extent of fishing activity, the nature of the topography and currents in the marine environment.
Plastic waste pollution in the oceans is a worldwide problem. In a 2014 study, scientists estimated more than 5 trillion plastic pieces weighing around 2,696 tons were dispersed in oceans in both the northern and southern hemisphere.
The moment I think about marine debris entanglement, there are many other scenes of birds trapped in a plastic bag, whales, dolphins, other sea animals entangled in nets, which have become familiar thanks to the social media.
A very specific problem concerning marine debris is that of ghost gear, nets that can entangle a wide range of species including fishes, dolphins, sea turtles, sharks, dugongs, crocodiles, seabirds and other animals.
I would also like to mention a particular problem, that is ghost fishing. When lost or discarded fishing equipment continues to effectively trap marine life even after fishermen have stopped using it.
Ghost gear restricts movement, causing starvation, deep wounds, infections and suffocation.
The way in which a marine animal is entangled and the type of debris involved varies by species. Largely, it's according to the animal's body shape and its behavior. For example, young seals may accidentally put their heads through plastic, rope or loops, which then become firmly fixed onto their necks or around the body or maybe close to the flipper. On the other hand, whales and turtles may just swim through a section of ghost fishing line or net that initially becomes snagged around the mouth or their flippers and may subsequently become wrapped around the whole body. Meanwhile, birds may ingest baited hooks and lines and become entangled in the portion of the line which basically remains outside the body.
Sea turtles are particularly affected by plastic waste pollution in the oceans, and an approximate number of 100,000 sea turtles are caught up in ghost gear every year.
In a study around Maldives, they found that olive ridleys were the most affected turtles when it comes to ghost fishing. As you all know, that olive ridley is the same species that comes in thousands to Odisha's coasts to nest. The mass nesting, as it is also known as Aribada.
I am Dr. Madhurita Gupta, President of MyWest Charitable Trust and Research Center, working in the field of sea turtle conservation and marine ecosystem preservation for past 5 years. Sea turtles have played a vital role in maintaining the health of the world's ocean for more than 100 million years. These roles range from maintaining productive coral reef ecosystem to transporting essential nutrients from the ocean to beaches and coastal dunes. There are different types of sea turtles commonly found in the coastal line of India. A vulnerable species of olive ridley and leatherback sea turtles, endangered species of green sea turtle, and a very critically endangered hawksbill sea turtle which are very commonly found in the coastal Maharashtra. And every year during monsoons, significant numbers of sea turtles are washed out at this beach due to plastic pollution and climate change.
Many of these sea turtles die as a result of the entanglement, and many fishing trawlers are now including specially installed turtle excluder device in their fishing gear so that entangled sea turtles in nets can swim out of the nets.
Major changes have occurred in the oceans because sea turtles have been virtually eliminated from many areas of the globe. Commercial fishing, loss of nesting habitat and climate change are among the human-caused threat pushing the sea turtles towards extinction. As sea turtle population decline, so does their ability to fulfill vital functions in oceanic ecosystem.
All known species of sea turtles and more than half of all species of marine mammals and seabirds have been affected by marine debris, and this number is always rising. Now here we need to understand that there are two fundamental types of biological interactions. A, entanglement, where the loops and openings of various types of debris entangle animals or entrap the whole animal. In nearly 80% of such entanglement cases, this has resulted in direct harm or death of the animal. And B, ingestion, where the debris items are intentionally or accidentally eaten and enter the digestive tract. The sad fact is that the animal is eating plastic thinking it's food because it smells like food once it is covered with algae. It is said that the plastic rope and netting are responsible for the majority of entanglements, and plastic fragments are the highest recorded substance for ingestion.
Larger plastics like macroplastics such as plastic shopping bags clog the digestive systems of marine animals when ingested. Microplastics harm smaller forms of marine life.
The first documented case of seabirds ingesting plastic was 74 albatross chicks found on a Pacific atoll in 1966, when plastic production was roughly a 20th of what it is today.
To stop the uncontrolled entry of marine litter in the ocean, the Government of India has now started an assessment of the extent and source of marine litter along the Indian coastline. The government is aiming to frame a national marine litter policy to combat plastic pollution in Indian seas, oceans and coastlines. India has also joined the United Nations Clean Seas program in an endeavour to clean up our oceans and beaches.
Our oceans are unhealthy and under significant threat from overfishing, pollution and climate change. It is time for us to protect sea turtles and rebuild their population to healthy levels as a vital step in ensuring healthy and resilient ocean for the future.
It is up to us to safeguard the primal home of life in our oceans and seas.
Time to ponder what we humans are doing to make Earth sustainable. Because Earth matters.
You are tuned to the General Overseas Service of All India Radio. We now bring you a commentary, India-Bangladesh Rail Connectivity Back on Track. It is scripted by Dr. Smruti S. Patnaik, Strategic Analyst on South Asia, and read by Kaushik Rai. The vibrant connectivity network that once formed the lifeline linking East Bengal with West Bengal during the British period was snapped by Pakistan in 1965. In its attempt to halt the close people-to-people ties which were bound by linguistic and cultural affinities, an agreement was reached between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina to increase rail connectivity. The two countries expressed their keenness to restore the connectivity that existed prior to 1965 and take it further. Bangladesh's aspiration to emerge as a hub of connectivity and India's priority to link its northeastern region to the nearest ports and inject vitality to the economic activities in this region played a catalyst in pushing the connectivity projects forward. Prior to 1965, there were 13 passenger trains that operated between India and former East Pakistan. In 2008, the two countries had restored the operation of Maitri Express connecting Kolkata with Dhaka, and in 2017, another passenger train, Bandhan Express, between Kolkata and Khulna was inaugurated. In 2016-17, India also had exported 120 passenger coaches. India is financing a total of 17 railway projects in Bangladesh as part of Line of Credit (LOC). It has extended with a total commitment of $2.44 billion, which includes converting meter gauge to broad gauge, improving signals and construction of new and restoration of old railway bridges. 9 of these projects have already been successfully completed, while the Karimganj-Mahisasan railway line in India, which connected Shahbazpur in Bangladesh, and Haldibadi railway line in India, which connected Chilhati in Bangladesh, have been restored. The countries have agreed to a new line connecting Agartala and Akhora. As part of cooperation and taking into consideration the shortage of wagons that the Bangladesh Railways is facing, Indian Railways is using its wagons to carry freight. According to India, about 2 million metric tons of cargo is moved by rail per annum, out of which 99% of the cargo moved by rail is Bangladeshi exports from India. In June, more than 100 freight trains to Bangladesh were operated carrying essential goods. Two significant developments in furthering the transport connectivity between the two countries need to be noted. Firstly, special parcel train carrying 300 and 84 tons of chilies reached Benapole from Majerhat on the 26th of July. It carried 50 other containers which signaled a new beginning. According to reports, this is going to be a permanent service and would connect nominated terminals of CONCOR, that is the Container Corporation of India, to Benapole, Jessore, Singya, Noapada and Bangabandhu Setu West railway stations in Bangladesh. Because of COVID-19, railways has emerged as an important medium to send essential supplies to Bangladesh. In this context, the gift of 10 broad gauge diesel locomotives to Bangladesh costing 60 crore rupees would boost Bangladesh railway strength. 10 broad gauge and 10 meter gauge locomotives were commissioned by the Bangladesh Railways between September 2012 and December 2015 to overcome the shortage of locomotives the country was facing. The Bangladesh Railways has 178 meter gauge MG locomotives, of which 139 have crossed their 20-year economic life, highlighting why the gift from India is significant. Of the 90 BG locomotives, 55 have completed their economic life. Rail connectivity continues to remain the cheapest and fastest mass transit system that was part of the vibrant socio-economic structure that historically existed. The railways will not only reduce the time and cost of transportation compared to the freight transported through the road network, but it will address the congestion at Benapole land port, as Bangladesh is the largest trading partner of India in South Asia. The restoration of old connectivity structure that existed during the British period would boost the economy of this region to a great extent. It can give further fillip to the centuries-old historical and cultural ties that bind the people of the region. That was today's commentary. India-Bangladesh rail connectivity back on track. It was scripted by Dr. Smruti S. Patnaik, strategic analyst on South Asia, and read by Kaushik Rai. This broadcast came to you from the General Overseas Service of All India Radio.
And now we have for you a beautiful song in the melodious voice of Mr. Ashwini Dagar.
ओ शाम कुछ अजीब थी, ये शाम भी अजीब है,